Beautiful people, welcome back to our YouTube channel, and thank you so much for joining the channel today. So guys, let's talk about some details about proof of funds to study in Canada. Some people still find it difficult to comprehend this, and I really don't know what is the problem. Anyways, I'm still going to break it down to you slowly. If you want to study in Canada, please listen to this video to the end. And for you to give me water to drink, please like the video and do not forget to share it with somebody. This may help the person so much. Thank you. So now, first of all, when you gain admissions to study in Canada, who can sponsor you? Let's talk about who can sponsor you, what you need to put into consideration, like the finance. Now, the people who can sponsor you are yourself. Like yourself, you can sponsor yourself to study in Canada. Your brother, your sister, your father, your mother, your uncle, or your auntie. I will break it down. Remember, if you want to sponsor yourself, you should be ready to prove to the visa officer that you have something substantial giving you some finance or giving you some money which can take care of that. Okay, and if you've been watching my other videos, you would hear me mention the fact that if you work, you show your papers to prove that you are working, your pay slips, your employment contracts, and maybe if you have a business, you bring the documents. And remember, if you have a business, you should be able to bring the tax documents, because without showing the tax documents to the visa officer means that you are not paying tax for your business in your country. And remember, the Western world is more about you pay your tax and you live right? Excellent. This is in the case you want to sponsor yourself. I'm talking about documents now aside of your proof of funds, which is your bank statement. Remember, I have said many times that the proof of funds is not all about the bank statement. Dumping too much money into the account before you apply for the visa is a problem. Build your statement slowly, like put money, withdraw money, put money, withdraw money, and make the account flexible. I hope you understand. Now, let's go to the part of your mother. If your mother have a business, if your mother is working, if your mother is doing something to give her money, show all of these documents after attaching her bank statement as well. Now, let's go to the part of your father. The same thing. Let's go to the part of your brother or sister. The same method. But remember, your sister needs to now prove that they are your sister. Your brother needs to prove that he is your brother. And your parents also. What are you going to do to prove this? You need to bring their birth certificates together. Then, let's talk about your auntie and uncle. Your auntie and uncle, remember, they are external family members, okay? But not that far outside. So what you need to do is bring their documents as well to prove all of this. It's so important, all right? Without you explaining all of them properly, nobody will listen to you. You need to make sure you bring all the documents and attach equally their birth certificates and all those things to prove that they are actually your family members. You understand? Now, apart of attaching all these other documents, it will also make a lot of sense if you attach documents to prove that they are actually employed. How are you going to show evidence that these people are your auntie? You need to, if your auntie is the one sponsoring you or your uncle is the one sponsoring you, you can show evidence by bringing in their birth certificate and that of your parents. Because if your father, or let's say if your auntie is the brother to your father, then you need to show evidence that they have the same surname. These things are so important, because without you explaining all these things, nobody is going to believe what you are saying, and it is a lot of issues for you. Process to go smoothly, and of course this paper to be approved. Then you also need to put this into consideration. The same thing goes for your uncle. Bring evidence to show that they are actually your uncle. And if they own companies, our advice, in case they own something similar, like if they own companies alongside your parents, you can bring them in. But I didn't say that you should go and show evidence that it is a company sponsoring you. Do not use any company to sponsor yourself. Don't show evidence that a company is sponsoring you. Do not show evidence that you are using a business account. Do not use any business account that belongs to somebody which is not your own. You can use your own business account, but you have to be careful. Our advice, you also get a fixed deposit account, or let me say a current account, or a whichsoever account, but it should not be a business account. The problem is because a business account is an account that functions when the business is functioning. Like, for example, the visa officer might think that you are just using a business account for your business, or maybe if you are using a business account, what happens in case if you go to buy goods, or if you go for your business trip, and at the end of the day you don't have enough money in that account and you need money for your academics, what is going to happen? So you need to put all of this into consideration. It's so important. Then another thing you should consider is that when you are doing this proof of funds, it's so important for you to know who is going to sponsor you. Don't use your friends. I've gotten people in the past asking me if they can actually use their friends as proof of funds. No, don't do that. Now, we have talked about people who can sponsor you. Let's talk about the amount of money you need. According to IRCC, please remember, this money has been doubled, all right? Like, the money has been increased. Which money has been increased? The money for living costs. How much was it before? $10,000. And how much is it now? $20,635, which means that your proof of funds has to be your tuition fee, your living costs, and some money called miscellaneous. That's extras like flight tickets, transportation. Now let's break it down slowly. Your tuition fee, let's assume that you are studying in a school which the cost is like maybe $10,000 per year. Let's just assume there is no school in Canada like that, especially when it comes to the level of community colleges. Okay, let's just assume that it's $10,000 per year. And according to IRCC, your proof of funds needs to be at least for 1 year. That's your tuition fee should be for 1 year inside your proof of funds. So you need to show that you have money for 1 year for your tuition, $10,000. Then plus living costs, how much is this? $20,000. Now you add 10,000 to 20,635. That is the money for living costs plus extras, which is miscellaneous. But I always advise people that if you have all your tuition, put it in their account. Okay, if your program is 1 or 2 years and you have all your money, put it in the account. Some people even go as far as paying the whole tuition for the whole year before this proof of funds. I hope you understand. I know someone who got a visa, she paid all the money, but paying all the money is not a guarantee that you are going to get a visa. Don't misquote me and don't get it wrongly. If you pay all, you are just telling the visa officer that, okay, I'm prepared. Now they are going to look at the other documents, your proof of funds, your home ties, and your letter of explanation. So please put all of this into consideration. Now the reason I'm explaining this is because someone just came to me and said, Milton, my uncle, I want to use 2 uncles, that's 2 sponsors. My 2 uncles, that one is excellent. Your 2 uncles can sponsor you. Then he went further to say that he doesn't have the same surname with them, but he has a document to show that they are actually his uncles. Excellent. If you do not have the same surname with them, it's going to be a disturbing factor. But again, if you have a document to prove that these people are actually your uncle, why not? You can use the document. It's not a big problem. Problem is not to use your 2 sponsors. The issue is if you are using 2 sponsors, especially these people are not like you have direct parents or maybe your direct siblings, right? You need to be able to prove that they are actually your sponsor. If they have been paying your tuition before, maybe let's just assume that maybe they have been taking care of you in the past 3 years, you can then show evidence of all of this. Okay, but if not, no problem. Just bring out the documents. Birth certificates to do, ID cards could do, passports could do, but just bring out the documents and do not forget to show how they are getting their money and where they are getting their money. Now, I think that we have trashed issue of proof of funds. Let's talk about what happens now with most of the schools. If you check very well, there are so many changes in Canada, and I would like you to understand this. A province like Nova Scotia is giving out provincial attestations like 12,000, I think 12,500, but they are not going to give, they are going to give like 7,000 visas. Now, this is not just for Cameroon, it's just for the entire world, Nigeria, Ghana, inclusive, everybody. So you have to be tactical when it comes to showing documents for your visa application. Like I always say, you have to show that you can sponsor yourself, why you are going to Canada, why you choose the school, why the program, okay, why that particular province, what the program is going to do to you. This is going to now come in your letter of explanation. You have to draw this visa officer's attention to all these things. You put it very well. Then remember, this is one part, letter of explanation. Your proof of funds. How did you structure your bank statement? Like, how did you build the account? Were you saving slowly, or you just bought into that account? You have to be careful, and you need to explain all of this. If there are lump sums, explain very well how you got those money. They are trying to fight money laundering, right? So you know that already. Then the other part is your home ties. What do you have back home that is going to bring you back? Not what your father have, what you have. Okay. But if you are a teenager, maybe let me not say teenager. If you are still under 30, I would say that you can show documents to prove that your parents still have properties. Do they have lands? Do they own houses? Do they have real estate? Do they have farmlands, lands? You show all of these, because these are the things that will help to tell the visa officer that you will return back home. And of course, okay, and you should have a focus. Why are you going to study, and what will you come back to do? These things must be clearly stated on your letter of explanation and your other documentations, guys. Please remember, some schools are asking for tuition deposit, like MBCC, NACC. Most schools are now asking for $5,000 deposit. Quadland Polytechnic, and so many of them. So I would advise you pay this money. When you pay, gather everything and do your visa application on time. Remember, most schools want to see a visa. There is a date every school is given. I think NSCC should be NSCC in Nova Scotia should be like August 2nd. I don't remember vividly, but they have a date. Every school have a date. I think it should be August. Yeah, even MBCC should be August. So you have to put all this into consideration. Proof of funds to study in Canada is the most important thing you need as of now. Okay, but if you cannot move to Canada, there are other countries you can move to. Just make sure you put all these things into consideration. Do research, watch videos. If you have doubts, you book appointments, you get knowledge before you apply. Do not give millions to people. Put the money in your account or your parents' account, then you do it yourself. This thing is actually ABC, just that most people do not understand what the process is. If you are thinking of moving with family and there is no possibility, check other schools, check other countries: Austria, Finland, Netherlands, Denmark. You can go with family. Okay, Portugal, they are there. Other visas are there. But please try to be legal. It is so important. I hope this will help you. I just wanted to answer this question so that many people can benefit from it. We are going to meet again in another one, guys. Bye.